What's going on, beautiful people of YouTube? It's Renebean. Welcome to another episode of Life of a Game Hunter / Collector. The series I started to give you guys a tidbit what it's like to be a game hunter / collector. The shit you deal with all the damn time, and we got some work to do today. My goal is to at least pull about $200 out of the shop today. I recently picked up a Game Boy lot. You'll see on the next Sunday video. There's 2 or 3 Game Boys we got to test. I want to get some Game Gears done. And I think there's an NES that's in there that's already refurbed. And I wouldn't mind going over some tips, like troubleshooting tips. I know this one works great, but I get a lot of questions, you know. A lot of people saying, why ain't this working? I can't get this to work right. And I'm going to just go over a few things out there. I think it'll be fun. I need some advice here, guys. So I'm highly debating this. I don't know if I'm going to go through with it or not. It's going to be a lot of work. This was a suggestion from a subscriber, and it's actually a beautiful suggestion. I'm considering it highly. This whole PlayStation 2 rack right here, I'm debating on putting it over here and having all my box games and 64 stuff over there. I even got more Super Nintendo games over here, which is why I haven't put this stuff on the shelf, because I may do that. I would much rather display that than I would the PS2 stuff. Not saying this stuff is bad, but I got some beautiful boxes. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. But anyways, guys, let's get out there. Let's make some money. Alright guys, we are out in the shop, and I know some of you are asking, like, weren't you going to remodel the shop and kind of change that up? I am. But since I got that convention coming up in Southeast Game Exchange here in a few weeks, I need to allocate some funds for that. So I'll do that maybe the next episode. It's going to be a lot of work. So I'm just kind of putting it off for now. Like, in the meantime, we're going to make some money. I don't know where to begin. I want to go over some I get a lot of questions. What do you use? What is that? Number one, everybody asks me about this. This is the best $20 you will ever spend. It actually might even be cheaper online. I bought this thing new at Lowe's. It's called the Hammerhead electric screwdriver. I can't remember what bits came with it. Maybe just a standard Phillips and flat. But I ordered in a 1/4-inch hex a bunch of smaller Phillips, because the ones it comes with are way too big. $20. This thing is phenomenal. Another question I've been getting a lot of here lately, ever since people saw me use this stuff, this was sent in, and I gotta say, this stuff works phenomenal. I don't know the actual, here it is, Sauce Metal Graffiti Wipeout. This stuff, let me just give you a demonstration here. We actually happen to have a game right here that's got some Sharpie on there. This stuff is weird though, like it feels dry, excuse me, but I'm telling you, this stuff is wild. I almost don't want to waste a full one on there because I won't need it. Maybe I can recycle it. How do I get this thing off? Well, that's going to have to work. This stuff is absolutely incredible. Should probably be using gloves when I'm using it, but I'm a daredevil like that. So, as you can see here, we got that Sharpie. This stuff, I've never seen anything work this good, honestly, when it comes to removing stuff like this. Just look at that. This is actual Sharpie. Look at the results of that. That is incredible. It is about, now I wouldn't recommend this on any label. He did say that. He's like, you put this on a label, that label's jacked. Look at that. I didn't even put no pressure on it. I just let my fingers work it, and that is incredible. I cannot recommend the Sauce Metal Graffiti Wipeout stuff. I don't know where he got it, how much he paid for it. A lot of people have been asking me about that. Maybe he'll leave a link in the description of this YouTube channel if he's watching. I have no idea. But the stuff is incredible. I want to be able to save this. I ended up using that because I didn't use... Oh, God, that's incredible. The way that works is phenomenal. Alright, so anyways, what are we doing today? Well, I picked up a Game Boy lot, a massive Game Boy lot. And we had two. We got a Game Boy Advance and a Game Boy Color here, obviously. Alright guys, sorry for the time jump. Every time I record, there ain't nothing I can do about it. He's a good guy. He's actually my mechanic. He does a lot of my work, but man, that force compensator bugs me every time I record. Alright, so anyways, we got some Game Boys here. I haven't even tried them out. Let's fire them up. How we looking? It had some corrosion at one point, but nothing insane. Does she power on? It does. Now, here's a little helpful tip. If you ever have a Game Boy, anything that takes batteries, and there was corrosion in there, whenever you have the batteries in there, and you leave that power switch on, just rub the batteries back and forth. If it's not cutting on, try to clean out the terminals. That way you'll know that it is at least salvageable and you can clean them up. That's what I'll do, is I'll rub the batteries back and forth and just try to make that connection, and it usually works. This one's working fine. Let's see, let's try a game. See if it'll play it. Which it did, kinda. It didn't load up the Nintendo logo, which is not a good sign. Let's go ahead and clean that out real quick just to see if that's the issue, which what I'm guessing is. I'm just going to use some standard isopropyl here. No need to get crazy for Tony Hawk. It was just a tester game. Still no Nintendo logo. That's wild. How bad are those pens? Those pens don't look bad. I wonder if the game's just bad. That's kind of perplexing. Let's try Ken Griffey Jr.'s baseball here. There we go. This game just might need to be reflowed or something. Probably won't worry about it. Alright, see, appears to be working good. Both triggers are working great. I'll have to test out the buttons. This screen is terrible. Let's go ahead and swap that out. And should be really just good to go. A simple wipe down would be all it needs. There's nothing else really that I need to do to it. So for screens, what do we got? Let's see. I know I got some screens somewhere. See, whenever I do redo this shop, I want everything easily accessible. Like I need to know exactly where everything is. Which of course I kind of got an idea, but things do get lost when it's this crazy. Game Boy Color, which we will use for that screen, because that screen is just too bad. Alright, let's see. Game Boy Advance. There we go. Now, like I told you in previous videos, it's best if you can remove this from the actual back side so you don't put any indentation on there. But there actually is a little bit of notch right here, and that's where I'm going to attack it from. I'm going to use my hook on this one. I used it last time, and that actually kind of worked fairly well. Yep. Made that little dent just a little bit bigger, but not terribly worried about it. I need something, a better wedge item. You really, there's suction cups you can put on here and yank them off. I don't have any, so I'm doing it the not the best way, but it works. Alright, there is the old screen, and that looks good too. A simple blow would be all it needs. Take my pocket rocket. Always blow these things out, because like I said, once that thing is seated, you don't really want to have to take it back on and off. It weakens the adhesive. Alright, so this I gotta pry back. A downside to replacement screens, and a lot of people don't realize this, is these little backs right here usually leave a residue on there. I'm very particular about screens. I don't want nothing on there, so I'll hold them up to the light. Let me pull this other side off so I can see through it, because they're double-sided. I know some people like to leave them on and tell them to peel it when you get it, but I'm telling you, you can get customers that are all like, this screen is scratched all to hell, and they don't realize that you got to remove this. So I just leave it off. This one looks fairly decent. Let me run a Q-tip over it, or actually hit it with a microfiber and just see if there's anything on this back side coming off. No, there's a hair or two. This is another thing people ask me about, I call it my little pocket rocket, the little hand rocket. These things are so cheap, you can get them for like $2 or $3 on eBay. They're great for small things like this. See, and there's one spot in particular on here that's bugging me. I'm real OCD about screens. Like, I don't want anything to be seen on it. I mean, I want it to be just a screen. I don't want no little hairs or anything. Make sure everything looks decent before I drop it. Alright, it looks good. And give it a final wipe down. Alright, that looks a lot better. Throw the back on there. The terminals don't need, actually, I'll hit them with a quick clean while I got a Q-tip out. They're not too bad. Alright. Game Boy number 1 done, so that one's good to go. Let's try out this Game Boy Color, which this one, ooh, bent down right here. You see this often where it's actually bent down one of the springs here. We can normally bend it back up. You got to be extra careful. You got to kind of grab it from the base when you do. This one, I may have to take that out. I'm not wanting to. In order to get to it, let me try some needle nose if I can find them. I don't know what I did with them. There they are. Alright, I'm going to see if I can grab this and just bend it back in place by grabbing the bottom part of the spring. Got a little bit of it, but it's not good enough. Alright, we're going to have to take it apart. Alright. So we got this thing apart, and as you can see, that's what I'm talking about. It's bent down to where when they put batteries in there, I see this all the time. And you can fix it if you're careful. It's just really about bending it back up. And it's kind of a hassle, but it'll perform a lot better. There we go. Now it's starting to get back into shape. Again, just being careful with it, and it's bent right back where it needs to be. Alright, let's try it out. Power's on. Good connection to the terminals. Let's see, will it play a game? This one definitely needs a cleaning. It worked last time with the isopropyl on there, it's just wet. Looks like she powers up. How's the sound? Sounds good. Buttons seem good. Alright, so we're getting the old screen off. This one again looks just fine. We're going to seat down a new one. Alright. Looking good. There's another Game Boy done right there. So what are we going to do next? I figure I got to find that NES that I'm pretty sure I already refurbed. I just never listed it, so that's something I'm going to have to do. But I can go over some tips with you guys, because I get a lot of questions on these things. So let me set that up. We'll be right back. Alright. There's that. See if we got an angle up on this TV. So I refurbished this one. Oh hell, I have no idea. A while back. I don't know why I never listed it or what the issue is with it. So here we go. We got no TV signal because it's video too. See, there we go. We can see that happening. I don't know if this game's clean or not. Let's try it. No. So an issue right here. Here's going to be an issue. This one is refurbed. I can already tell because it's not blinking. I disabled the lockout chip. If you I have a full tutorial on how to do an NES refurb. If you do it correctly, and if your game is 100% clean, you should be able to get it to fire without any adjustments. Sometimes you can put it back in and then it'll work, but let me show you here. We're going to clean this game up here and see if that fixes this issue. Alright, here's the game, and it is dirty. So you know the solution to that is the classic Bright Boy. That stuff does wonders. Let's go ahead and hit it with the Bright Boy and see what the results are. As you can see, that Q-tip was pretty bad, so I'm going to take my junk towel here, clean off this residue, and hit it with some isopropyl. Which actually, I still got a wet spot of it on here. That's good. Makes things easier. Alright, so we got the game. We'll go ahead and seal up my Bright Boy. If I lost that, I'd be heartbroken. Then I have to buy more. So we put it in, let's open it up. See, when your game works properly, if it's completely clean and if you refurbish this thing perfectly, step by step, you can't miss any steps. That's going to be the biggest determining factor. Another thing that I've seen, and I've gotten this a lot after they've done my refurb job, is they'll say that the game only works when it's up. When it's not, if you push it down, it won't work at all. And that's very simple. If you don't polish those pins perfectly, both top and bottom, whenever you push this game down, a lot more pressure is on the bottom half of that pin, and if those pins aren't perfect, it's not going to work right at all. And those are the pins that are the ones that need to be polished. Those are the ones that are being pressed down, not the top part of it. So that, you just need to take it back out, sand them down again, and then get it going right. So that's one of the issues. If you don't want to go through the whole hassle of doing the pins, trying to get them to work, you can get it, like, I can take any NES, for the most part, if it gives me a TV signal, meaning whenever I don't have anything in there and I got the AVs plugged up and I see some sort of flicker, means I'm getting some sort of TV signal. So I'll take the dirtiest game that I can think of. Actually, let me grab a dirty game. I'll give you an example. Or one that I know that's not clean. So we got pro wrestling right here. I've done nothing to it. I mean, obviously you can see it's pretty dirty. If I put this in here right now, it's probably not going to work right. At the hell it may, I don't know. Son of a bitch. Well, alright, assume that it does not work. You put it in there and it just gives you a blank screen. It's blinking, it doesn't matter. A lot of people simply don't realize that you can really just kind of jiggle this around until you get it. Now you can see it's dirty. Push it down. If it doesn't cut on, move it around a little bit, constantly hit that power button, and you'll eventually get a signal. It needs to be clean, though. A clean game is 99% of the problems for an NES. Alright. Those tips aside, another thing that I have gotten asked about is the controller ports. Someone messaged me and said the controller port is not working. A quick way that I diagnose a controller port that isn't working, let me go ahead and get a game going on here. Get my duck hunt. This controller I haven't tested. I know that the ports on this thing work, but I'll plug it in. And let's say I'm not getting any signal, like it's not recognizing the controller at all. What I'll do is I'll unplug the controller. This seems very basic, but it does have meaning behind it. Just blow into the port of the controller as well into here. And you're not really cleaning anything, but you are putting moisture on the contacts. When you put it back in, if you're getting any results whatsoever, most likely the pins in here are dirty. So I recommend get some contact cleaner, blow it out, clean it out. If you have an air compressor, after you use that stuff, take your air compressor, get in there, make sure it's completely cleaned out. Same with your controller port. That's usually the issue. But a quick diagnostic would be just to blow in there and see if that helps with the contact. Then you know you got a dirty port. And you can, there are people that sell replacements. If I have a truly defective NES, I will break it down entirely. I will sell the port separately. I'll sell the power button mechanism separately, the tray, all that. So you can find them. And there are some that are defective. It's just the way it works. Another quick diagnostic with a controller, if you are getting signal and it is working and you find, now I cover this a lot. You're sitting here, God, the TV looks good with this game right here. This NES is playing perfectly. But let's say you go and you press a button and then nothing's happening. You really got to mash the hell out of it. Older controllers like this, all the way up to N64, even GameCube, they just get dirty. When they get used, they get dirty. The contacts get dirty. Completely disassemble the controller. Take some rubbing alcohol. Clean up the contacts. It should be good to go, and it should be very responsive afterwards. Alright guys, so I got a couple Game Gear set up. We're going to finish it off with a time lapse here. It's probably going to be a very quick one. I'll fast forward it like crazy. And everybody knows I like to do these time lapses for one of two reasons. I like it, some people like it, they think it looks cool to see all that work being done. And secondly, whenever I sell these units, I like the customers to know, hey, you're actually getting what you paid for. There is no workaround. I'm not being half-assed about it. You're getting a full cap replacement. Because keep in mind, I have seen people sell cap replacements or the refurb Game Gears, and they literally only changed out the two main problem capacitors. You got to change every single one of them. That's my theory. You know, it just gives them a bit of comfort and they can see it. So anyways, guys, let's get to work. Guys, so I'm just finishing up the touch. I'm cleaning the Sonic game because it was pretty dirty. It does look like I'm only going to be able to do one of these today. My phone's being weird. Like, I'm new to the Google Pixel 2 XL. And as I'm recording, keep in mind, like, I'll record maybe, because you'll see a time lapse, but it's acting like it's filling up the phone way too fast. It says, like, if I film for 1 hour, it says that I use 47 gigs. If I click on the file, it says it's like 7 or 8 gigs. I don't understand it. I gotta figure it out. I'm just still new to it, so I'm gonna go in there and mess with that, get this uploaded today so I'm not spending too much time on it. Let's see how she performs. This one will be available on Macari. Let's see, plug her up. Alright, there's the screen and my ugly face. How's the sound? Sound is good, brightness is there. Oh yeah. She sounds good, looks good. Buttons, nice and responsive. Awesome. So anyways, guys, that's it. Hopefully y'all learned something today and enjoyed the video. If you did, hit that thumbs up. Always supports this channel. Let YouTube know y'all people like this stuff. So anyways, guys, as always, take care. Enjoy the rest of your day.